Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Vibes. Listen, have you ever found yourself like raging at a particular feature in a sports video game? Well, today we're diving into a major frustration in college football 25 Dynasty Mode. See, I'm one of those people, and who came up on the game back in '05, '06, just like those people who played Madden back in those times, where we can also feel as if this were the prime times of college football and Madden sports or Madden football, when you could do so much and it has such an immersive experience. Well, listen, we're going to dive into the discussion on college football 25 Dynasty Mode and the glaring absence of player creation. Yep, if you are one of those people who really got the game for the player creation, well, listen, you heard it right. There's no creation. Period. Literally, the word creation shouldn't even be involved when you mention college football 25. Is no creation at all. And let's uncover why this missing feature is such a big deal. So, um, picture this. You all are so hyped up to dive into college football 25 dynasty mode, ready to lead your team to victory. But wait, there's a catch. You can't create your own player. I mean, that's not quite true. You can create your own player if you're doing Road to Glory. If you're familiar with that mode, you are a. It's pretty much like my career or N2K or, uh, Madden, where you can create a player and you go on a solo journey to become a starter, or you become the guy to become successful, or the hometown hero. But when it comes to the dynasty mode specifically, you can't create your own players. How does it impact the game, you may ask? Well, let me break it down for you. Player creation isn't just about making a character look like you, although that's always fun, of course, right? It's about adding a personal touch to your team, crafting your own players or your own star players, and truly customizing your squad to fit your style of play. In this sense, without this feature, the game just kind of feels a bit generic, to be totally honest. So overall, for me, it's like we understand the NIL, right? It's because the NIL has such a big play when it comes to character likeness and name and image. They kind of want the players to get paid in college, and that's something that has been going on for the last 20 plus years. It has been a big debate if college players should get paid. You had players like Johnny Manziel, who was taking bribes and selling merchandise just to make sure they can eat when they was in college. They used to gamble, used to, bet on themselves. So the NIL was created, the name, image, and likeness was created to protect college football players, basketball players, and collegiate players overall, so they could be financially secured if they didn't make it to the NFL, or they should just be getting paid because they represent the college that they're playing for. Going to school, getting a free education just wasn't enough for these kids to come out with CTE and other type of things like that. So they had to get rid of college football. If you remember, NCAA 14 was the last college football game we had, and any college football before that, it wasn't a name attached to the players, it was just a likeness. Like when Florida had Tim Tebow, we knew it wasn't Tim Tebow, but it was Tim Tebow because of the number that quarterback was wearing at the time. So they had to, at the end of the day, get licensing, and it took them over 10 years to come up with an agreement or a specific amount of money to be able to pay these players, because there's a lot of football players, right? The people that's in there for 1 year, the people that are in there for 4 years, the people who come and go. It was a hard system to construct. So I understand changing the characters in college football 25 who are NIL players. It shouldn't be touched. You can't touch those people. That change anything about them. But once I'm 3 years into my dynasty mode, it was pretty traditional for a team owner or a league player or a dynasty player to then start to pretty much create a recruit from the hometown that they was interested in, or in the pipeline that they was that they was looking to recruit in, or somebody that they was looking to fill a prominent position that they had for their team needs. So if you come from where I come from, this has always been one of the key principles, or one of the key items needed for Dynasty to feel like you were actually building a franchise or dynasty around what you wanted to see, and not just computer generated images and criteria built around attributes that you did not put in the game. Whether it was editing the computer's attributes or the names or the hometowns, this was a key factor when building your dynasty. Whether you fought to get this recruit because you have the prestige now to actually win this recruit, this has always been something that we pride ourselves on. I don't know if this is going to be something that is a patch. I don't know if there's something that's going to be involved in team building that has not been released yet. But overall, we need this in the game to make the game really immersive. Also, the analog feel of the game is a little bit stale. I like the gameplay. Don't get me wrong, the gameplay is pretty amazing. I love the way the game feels. I love the atmosphere, the crowd noises, the music. And one thing I must say with that, I think they should bring a college radio. Due to the fact there's no college radio, it's kind of disappointing because I'm going through this menu for maybe 35, 40 minutes at a time, and all I hear is drums. Like theme songs, college theme songs. So for me, I think they should add a college radio so we can keep up with week to week progression and declines in teams. If injuries happen, if a number one team was beat, week to week, we need to know that information, not just see a top stories. And it kind of start to feel like Madden when all we get is these analog social media. I like the fact that you get these text messages from this random person, whether it's your team advisor, your coach, about you staying out late or whatever in the road to glory. I kind of wish we could see a little bit more of that in the dynasty mode as well. Right now, I know this is the first iteration in 10 years, but I kind of feel like we came out a little basic versus where we should be with this game overall. Now, for me, I think we can fix this with some patches, y'all, before the 19th. I think we could actually get this game where it needs to be if you open up some features that should already be in the game. Like, again, team radio, or pretty much you can choose from SEC radio, national radio, ACC radio. These things that keep you entwined to want to be in the menu because you can hear week to week what's going on with each of these teams. So for me, I'm a little disappointed in the game overall. But at the end of the day, I think the gameplay is amazing. I think we have a great basis. It plays better than Madden has played in the last few years. There are some things when it comes to tackling that you may get, some little animations that don't seem to fit, but the impact of the game and the tackles, I think, is really amazing. So for me, I'm not upset about the game overall. I'm just disappointed how some of the lack of features in Dynasty is still not there. Recruiting seems a little, if you break it down and you take away the fluff, pretty much all you do is recruit and play football. There's nothing in between. There's nothing in between that can keep you engaged while the menu of recruiting is there. If we had a radio that came out or an announcer on the radio came out and gave us a big news break that said, hey, in SEC just nabbed the number one recruit in the nation, that you're going to go and look at your recruit board. That makes you go and look at your recruit board knowing that you just heard this on the radio or the podcast. So we need those type of things, or those news articles to come through that makes us engage in things, that sparks an interest for us to keep moving on our dynasty. But for me, I think the game is amazing. Don't want to shit on the game like totally, but Dynasty is missing a lot. Road to Glory is missing a lot, but I think over the next iteration, if we as the EA Sports community come together and actually push these agendas for what we want to see in the game, it's not like EA ever really listen to us anyways, but if they start to listen to us, I think making sure that we get these things in the game, not make it so analog. And even if it's analog, can we get some type of podcast that keeps us up to date with recruiting changes, with drafts, with bowls, with games laws, with position changes in the ranking? Those things will make it so much entertaining when it comes to this game. So if you haven't yet picked up the game, just know that it's missing creation mode, and that's a big loss for the community. Overall, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so you know every time I go live and I talk about college football, NBA 2K, and any other sports game or any other game that may suit your likeness or interest, you are notified first. With that being said, thank you for supporting. Make sure you follow the Twitch as well, and I look forward to seeing you all soon.